What's up, everyone, and welcome to I mean, God, who knows? I mean, a live stream like what months in the making? I guess I don't know. Whatever. It's been a while. Is I guess what I'm trying to say. Albert Albanese, as usual, who else would be doing this? And today, I kind of just wanted to jump on to kind of update everybody on everything. What I've been doing, what I've been up to. Um, I guess everything that's going on with this channel, I guess, and yeah. So, and I guess if we get some people in here, we want to talk wrestling for a little bit before I have to inevitably jump off and cook my dinner because I am starving. Then we can do that. So, yeah. So, yeah. So I guess I'll get some of the normal stuff just I guess out of the way before we'll see if anybody jumps on or whatever. Hey, True Citizen, what's up, buddy? How are you? I got this thing over the chat right now, and I barely even see that was you. Let me scroll up. Boom, we're in business. All right. So yeah. So I guess first things first. Obviously, I haven't really been super duper active on here, and that's kind of like for a bunch of different reasons. First, I don't remember the last time I actually did a live stream. I don't. I know there was a point in January that I definitely did one or two. Don't remember how much I did in February, if I did anything. And so there was a point where I had started writing a play. There was a festival. They were accepting submissions. I worked to kind of, I guess, to write my own when I kind of felt like there was a chance. But by the time the deadline came about, I ended up not being able to submit it. But since then, I've kind of just been like writing a lot more to kind of, I guess, to kind of perfect that, to get that, because I finished it. I did something from start to finish, which is something that as you can all tell, I don't normally do because obviously every time I tell you guys, hey, I just started doing this new project, half the time it doesn't even end up happening. And the reason is that I procrastinate, and then I very quickly lose motivation on things when things don't go exactly the right way. Case in point, I had a video that I was going to shoot for this channel to try to, get back into the swing of things and try to get this channel back active again. And I started typing it on my phone, and I put my phone down, and I picked it back up, and it was all gone. And I was like, well, there goes that idea. So I tend to lose motivation very quickly, is what I'm trying to say. So finishing the play from start to finish, writing the whole thing has been great, but the editing process is long. So I've been doing that. Also, in I guess what turns out to be good, a set of good news. But it ultimately leads up to what I'm going to end up saying. I am going to start assistant directing a new independent film for AJ Epics Productions. So more on that when I can update you guys. We're going to start going into production soon, and I don't want to really say much about it. There's been two other ones. I was involved in the first one. I acted, and I produced and assistant directed. So this is a big undertaking for me, and I'm excited. But it's just another thing that's kind of like that I have going on that's kind of preventing me from kind of being a little bit more active on here like I planned. But another, aspect of good news is that I was also, I know that True Sinister, you do follow me on Twitter, so you know this, but I was brought on board for the Wrestle Buddy team. So there's Wrestle Buddy and Wrestle Geek. I'm sorry, Wrestle Buddy and Geek Buddy. Sorry. And they're two congruent websites, and I've written a couple articles for them. So I've kind of been putting a lot of my wrestling energy into those articles. So there's also going to be more content from me though, and not just for not just written articles, but also some video stuff that I have coming up with them. I'm going to start getting a little bit more involved. There may be a chance I might be doing a podcast, but it's not going to be anything wrestling related whatsoever. And I'm actually excited about doing that because as much fun as I have talking about wrestling, I don't like that that's the only thing that I do talk about because I do have other interests. So, some other things might be coming down the pipe there too. But if I do stuff for Wrestle Buddy or Geek Buddy, I'm probably going to, take you guys along for the ride on this channel some way, in some form, if it's behind the scenes or just live streams talking about the experiences. Even if we can figure out ways to do like, I don't know, like watch parties, if we get enough people that want to do it to, watch things together or whatever, we'll figure it out. But I want, I'm not neglecting this channel at all. Like that's not my intention. It's just with all of this stuff going on right now, it's been hard to get into a groove of setting aside the time to not only shoot content, but to write content, then shoot it, then to edit it, and then to get it out. I have been talking to Dave a little bit. We've been discussing doing some more stuff together. When we our schedules mesh, which has been the hard part because our schedules sometimes don't really mesh. We're going to try to do a little bit more stuff together, but we'll figure that out as time comes. But hopefully it kind of gets me into the swing of things of trying to make a little bit more stuff. I am making mental notes. I am, I'm trying to, keep a mental tally and a physical tally of topics I want to cover, that I want to do, not just live streams on, but things that I want to talk about in video format. So I'm planning things out. I just wanted to get on here and just let you guys know and kind of apologize for not being as active as I wanted to be. Yeah. So that's that. So yeah, there's a few of you guys in here. I wasn't planning on staying on super duper long. So if there's anything you guys want to talk about me or about wrestling or about, whatever, let me know. I'll stay on for a couple more minutes and pretty much that's that. So trying to think of if there's anything that I just want to even gloss over in the wrestling world before, besides, I guess, look, I'm just going to throw this out there. It's going to be a generalization because this isn't, I might do a long form version of this at one point. So this is just, I want to kind of touch on something. We as a fan base, I think, have lost the ability to watch like we were watching when we were kids. I think that we as a hardcore wrestling fan base have jaded ourselves so badly by being so involved in the backstage drama and caring more about that than anything else. You know what? Guys, I am so sorry. I did not see the chat at all this entire time. I didn't realize any of you guys were saying everything. WG Phil, Harry Flynn, thank you guys for being here. Good to see you. That's awesome, Harry. That's great. I'm glad you did a collab. That's awesome. And yeah, WG Phil, that's what it is. It's, I think the Bloodline story has been excellent, and everybody's like, they're now with the new wrinkle after Raw last night. The people are playing fantasy booker with it, and that's cool because we're all trying to figure out where we wanted to see it go or where it will go or whatever, and that's great. That means we're interested. That means we want more of it. Which is fun. I enjoy that. I like that. That's good behavior for wrestling fans. We're engrossed in the storyline Hey, I think it might go this way. Hey, I might think it goes that way. That's fun. That's wrestling for you. It's it's getting us engaged in the product. But there are just so many detractors and haters on everything. I said I wanted to keep this general, but I guess now that I have a couple of you guys in here, I'll be a little bit more specific before I jump off. So like last night was so fun. Just another wrinkle and another, and more storytelling and another arc in a story that we've been, following for such a long time. Seeing Jey Uso being on the fence. True Sinister. I hate the fantasy booker. Is the yeah. I have my gripes about that too. But I actually watched the last 2 weeks, the last two AEW Dynamites live. I haven't watched them live in a long time. I've kind of almost a little bit fell off the AEW product, and I watched them and I enjoyed them, but I felt like the characters just didn't jump out to me enough because I didn't care enough because I feel like I wasn't invested enough. And it's not that I'm not invested in the product. It's just that I just don't feel like that the people are featured enough to. That's my own look. I'm not even jumping into that. Let's stay on topic. Just yeah. I don't mind engagement, but blaming Vince and unnecessarily hating Cody for no reason. Yeah, I agree, WG Phil. I 100%. I'm with you. These people are like the whole thing that with the bloodline, the way this all played out has been really fun. But at the same point, now you have people that are and look, fans are excited. So they're like, this was art, this was cinema, like this was so much, and people are like, oh my God, that's not the acting wasn't that great. Oh my God, I can't believe you people are talking like that. Go watch a movie. We watch movies, assholes. None of us are sitting here and really thinking anybody really deserves a Grammy. But if you want engagement that bad because you want to be like this thing like, nah, it ain't that serious, bro. I'm a big fan, but it's not that serious, bro. If you're investing that much time, you should be invested in the story. And if you think that it's not up to higher standards, who gives a crap? If you're a fan, you're a fan, right? Like, let's be fans together. Like, let's not try to put shit down. This has been fun. Jay didn't turn on Sammy for Roman. He turned on Sammy for Jimmy, like any sane brother would. And look, we don't have Jay's explanation yet. And WG Phil, to be, just to be fair, I agree. I feel like that's what his motivation was. Because, Heyman and Roman have been saying on television, they've been putting the pressure on Jimmy. So Jay, is there saying, don't mess with my brother. That's my brother, So that's at least my explanation of where I think things are. But hey, we don't know. I feel JD. He's obsessed with his own theories and assumptions, and he hates to admit he's wrong and makes a huge other thing. But I see, true sense. The thing is that it's not even him. It's all the little mini clones of him. It's all engagement monsters. That's what these guys all are. They're negative to get engagement because they know that they'll get a hard that core base of wrestling fans that hate the WWE. If you tap into them, they will latch onto you and take you in as one of their own because they want the engagement. So they know that by being toxically negative, they're going to get engagement because those people are going to be so happy to have another person to just be like, yeah, the WWE sucks. It's the worst. If you don't watch Wrestle Kingdom, you're the worst wrestling fan ever. Like, they can scream that into that void all that they want. And that's going to get them engagement. But that's also making you hate the wrestling product. And why would you want to hate something that, you're watching because you used to love it? I don't understand it. True Sinister, I agree. With the Bloodline story, I do like Cody making the save. I mean, he's feuding with Roman. So why wouldn't he go out there to fend off Roman's family? And him in the back talking to Kevin Owens. Almost being like, hey, look, I got to go up against Roman now. You don't have to fight them by yourself. I'm here to, I'm here to be like, hey, I can be a bridge. But Sammy's doing it too. So why don't all of us do it? And KO, didn't seem too happy when he was in the background, talking to Cody in the backstage promo. And that wasn't, we don't hear any of that. And I like that we're getting storytelling like this again. And I was thinking about this earlier. That's one of the things that I said, if, I did get on here and talk about wrestling. I don't know why I had so much headroom. This also makes my lighting better. So, one of the things I was thinking was that there are so many times when I watch a wrestling show, a wrestling television program, not a pay-per-view, a wrestling TV program, that I can watch it and have, great storytelling throughout and not remember any of the wrestling. Like, it was just there. It was there, and it was, maybe it was great, maybe it was good, maybe it was okay, maybe it sucked. But it was there. And I would be like, yo, this was a great episode. And then there would be nights where I'd watch it and there wasn't much storytelling, but the action was really great and there was a lot of really good wrestling. And people would be like, man, that wasn't a good episode of Raw. And my thought process was, man, but they put on some banger matches though. But in my mind, I don't mentally connect that as being a better show. Like, to me, it's just, it's another thing. Like I want the storytelling. That's what I want. That's what I want out of wrestling. And if that's not what everybody wants, that's fine. But I want the storytelling. And I've been loving the Bloodline story because there's been a story to tell. Mox and Hangman have been good. Like, that's been a good story, the good AEW story. But the reason why that's been good is because they've been telling it every week. They haven't really been taking weeks off from telling it. And that's the problem with AEW. They have 6 weeks to build a pay-per-view, and they do it in the last 2. And everything else is just thrown together stuff, and maybe some other high profile matches just to get you to watch, the Dynamites and stuff to get you to keep you invested. It's storytelling for me. That's what's driving me as a wrestling fan to watch. And maybe it wasn't the same way when I was younger, because I definitely wasn't. I was, I was one of these. I would have been one of these guys who would have been like, no, I want to see I want to see better wrestling the whole time. Not that way anymore, man. I realize it's because the story engaged me. The Attitude Era was, people are talking about the Ruthless Aggression Era now, and there are a lot of people of that age group that are growing up saying it was better than the Attitude Era because the wrestling was better. But you know what? The Attitude Era got better ratings because the storytelling was more outlandish and crazy, and there was something on there for everyone, and no one complained about the storytelling that wasn't for them because somebody else enjoyed it. They weren't screaming it into a void. They were just happy that wrestling was fun. None of us are happy. A great story gets told with MJF and Bryan Danielson. They did great. They knocked it out of the park. The Iron Man match, like the little moment in that Iron Man match at like the 55-minute mark where MJF is crying and Danielson is smiling, was such good storytelling. And it told the story of that whole entire build. And people are online complaining about things about it. And it's like, yo, all right, look, there may have been some things that didn't go perfectly or whatever the case is. But, we're living in the age where if you're a wrestling fan, in some way, shape, or form, in some wrestling program, you're getting exactly what you want. Why are we complaining about the stuff that we don't like? Why are we all wasting so much time on that negativity? Bro, if you don't like WWE, why are you watching it? Don't watch. Go watch something else. If it's too lowbrow for you, go find something that, to quote the late great Max Dupree, that titillates your juices somewhere else. Because if I'm a wrestling fan, I just want to find fun and the products. I just want to watch wrestling and enjoy it. And man, when I turn my brain off and I stop thinking like an armchair booker, I stop thinking what the IWC is going to think, and when I stop thinking about what everybody's going to think, I enjoy the show so much better. And last night I watched Raw, and during the and there was a point where a lot of things were going on, but when the Damage Control segment came on with Trish, Lita, and Bianca, my girlfriend who was with me, just her ears perked up, and she was watching and she was asking questions. But she got completely 100% drawn into Cody. Like, Cody came out. First into Cena. Like, Cena came out, and it was like, boom, eyes off the phone, attention to the television, you know, listening to everything he was saying. Like there's that immediate connection, and that's where I realized like that's what I miss. Like it's that energy that makes you want to watch. And then, later on when she saw Cody, she was invested again. And, the actual wrestling didn't get her, but the story elements, she kept asking about the bloodline story because the story elements got her. And more, I'm realizing like that's the reason why I watched wrestling as a kid. It wasn't just like the cool matches, it was telling the story. Like when I was a little kid and I was an annoying, obnoxious little wrestling fan, a little like like snot-nosed 5-year-old obnoxious Albert who knew how to talk in full sentences and would machine gun fire things at people when they asked me, "Oh, you're a wrestling fan? What do you like?" "Oh my god, yeah, I love wrestling." There was like that time where the Macho Man, he was like in like a tag team with somebody, but then he really wasn't. But then he came out and like Hulk Hogan and him weren't really ever friends, but then like the Honky Tonk Man was gonna hit the Macho Man with a guitar, and like it broke over his head, and then like the Hart Foundation were at the Honky Tonk Man because they're all managed by Jimmy Hart, and like they were all like a thing, like they're friends like together, so they like all hung out together, and they like hit the Macho Man with the guitar, and then Elizabeth went back and she got the Hulk Hogan, and I don't even like Hulk Hogan, but like he saved the Macho Man, and I was like so happy because like the Macho Man and then like Hulk Hogan was like, then they shook hands, and then the Mega Powers like. It wasn't it was the whole story. That's what drew me in. Like there was so much fun when I was a kid. You couldn't shut me up. I want to feel that way about wrestling again. And sometimes I think I need to stay off the internet to do it. Because when I'm not seeing all the negativity, man, it's a lot more fun. I want that out of wrestling again for me. I want that out of wrestling for all of us. All right, I neglected to chat for a few minutes, so I'm going to get back to that, and then I'm going to get going in a couple minutes because I am starving, and it's 6:30, and I got to cook my salmon. And me going on that 5-year-old rant destroyed my voice. What is it, man? I guess I got to talk more. People tell me I need to shut up. I know I'm not supposed to look at it this way, but kayfabe-wise, I blame Owens for the Sammy bloodline situation. I also feel Sammy is quite selfish and unrealistic with what he expected from the Usos. So, but I think that's the fun of the storytelling. I think that like, in a way I kind of see what you're saying because, KO kind of shunned Sammy. He even said like he was done with him for a while. And, Sammy needed he needed to rebuild his image, but he needed a new home. He needed a new family because his old family, even if they fought, they were always there. But his old family wasn't there for him anymore. So that's why he did that. But I think it's also great storytelling because you're right. It is unrealistic. With what Sammy expected of the Usos. Of course, I'm not going to turn their back on their cousin, the guy who put them in that spot for Sammy. Yeah, but you feel for him because they were my friends too. And you get that, and it's a great storytelling device, and it's fun. I think Roman's winning at Mania, and he's going to hit 1,000 days as champ. Harry, a lot of people have been saying that. A lot of people have been speculating that online. They're saying that the WWE keeps mentioning it, so there's a really good chance it's going to happen. I think that the moment is WrestleMania. Cody cemented himself as the top guy, and he beats Roman. I think that's what you have to do. I think that's why. And look, I'm not going to talk about the whole Sammy bloodline situation thing in depth because I'm in the middle of writing a big ass article on it. And you'll be able to read it on WrestleBuddy. It'll be on my Twitter. You'll be able to find it. It'll be on the WrestleBuddy website. For those of you who are joining a little bit later, I've recently been, I'm a staff writer now on the WrestleBuddy website. I published, I think, 2 articles so far, and I have a 3rd one coming out. So I'm going to get into all that Sammy bloodline stuff later on. But all I'm going to say is that, the storytelling devices have been so good and done so well. It makes you understand where that whole thing is coming from. It makes you feel for Sammy. And it makes you feel for KO because, we know they're brothers and we want to see them, brothers fight, but inevitably, you want to see them reconcile. So it's a great story. I hate how Cody can talk about recovering from injury, getting out of Randy Orton's shadow, doing it all in doing All In, yet certain people pretend he's only talks about being Dusty's son. See, true sinister, I agree. I completely agree. And getting back to what we were talking about with Roman as champ, like Cody's got to be the guy. They need to invest in the future, and someone's got to knock off Roman at WrestleMania, and it's got to be Cody. Because if it's not Cody, then who is it? If you're not going to build the idea of getting to Cody Rhodes, then who is it? And if you think, this is all I'm going to say, I just went into that whole rant, I'm just saying, if you think that the right move was to end the most historic reign of our generation, the most historic title reign of our generation, and maybe, I guess, some of us are old enough for the San Martino run, some of us are old enough for the Hogan run, but of this generation, Roman Reigns is the greatest championship run of this generation. And if you're going to say that ending that on a B pay-per-view in Montreal for a hometown pop to a guy who WWE it doesn't seem to, want to build to make the face of their company because they have this other guy waiting in the wings for, they went out and got to be that person is an asinine thought process. I'm going to go into the whole thing in the article, but it's an asinine thought process. However, WrestleMania, Cody Rhodes, Roman Reigns, one-on-one. I cut my hand. I have stitches. That's what this is, just by the way. I'm not trying to be a wrestler with like wrist tape or something. I just want to throw that out there. It's 100% has to be Cody goes over. It has to. There cannot be any other ending. If Cody doesn't win now, he doesn't get the WrestleMania moment. True Sister, I wouldn't mind Sami versus Cody on pay-per-view. Look, here's the thing. Sami Zayn main evented Monday Night Raw this week. They're not throwing him in the garbage. He's not mid-card fodder. He's still in a main event level storyline. He's not just going to disappear after this. Triple H is booking now, despite Mustache Vince coming back to the WWE and watching John Cena. Triple H is booking now. He's not going to throw he's not going to throw Sami away. He knows what he built in Sami. He saw what the reaction was, and he's going to capitalize on it. And that's the hope. I don't know this, but yeah, I think in his mind, that's what the goal is. He's not throwing him away. This was always supposed to be the story. And I'm laughing at wrestling fans, and I've seen this multiple times. They're going to throw away all this storytelling with Sami Zayn for some hot shot booking Cody Rhodes in the main event. It's the Royal Rumble. It's the booking of the main event of WrestleMania has been the same way since 1993. Hot shotting? Did you just learn that word? Not enough build. Not enough build? It's the same build every year. Where are we getting this? It's like we've gone to obnoxious levels to defend something that we knew wasn't supposed to happen. And that's what I think it is. I think wrestling fans like to be contrarian. They want to be the catalyst. We got behind Sami Zayn, so Sami has to win. And if Sami doesn't win, then we don't win. Just because you picked the dark horse in the story doesn't mean that they're going to scrap an entire year's worth of work to get Cody to where he is, to get a hometown pop in Montreal. The plan isn't Sami Zayn, it's Cody Rhodes and Cody Rhodes in the future. Ron Hawthorne, what's up, buddy? How are you, man? Good to see you. And yes, True Citizen, you're 100% right. People were already talking about Cody versus Roman before Cody was injured. Two bloodlines going for the title is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, yet people want to give it up for a National Championship run. Thank you, WG Phil. Thank you. Why would you do that? It's historic. But it's just brings me back to the point that I'm sorry, like I'm so hungry, I'm like burping. Harry, I don't know. I can't agree with you. You keep saying that you don't think that Cody's going to win. It's got to be Cody. It's got to be at Mania. The story is too good to not tell. Plain and simple. You know? And Ron, you're 100% right. But Smarks definitely enjoy being contrarian. And that's the thing. We all think we're smarter than everybody else, and we all want to be the ones to do it. Like the Yes Movement. We all want to be like, we got CM Punk. We got behind this person, and we got them to where they are. And like, it'll pay off. It's not like these things don't ever pay off. Sometimes it takes time. But man, the contingent of Kofi Kingston fans that had to wait 11 years to see that guy win a world title, and he does it at WrestleMania, like, damn. It sucked at the time, but the story was worth it, right? Even if he does lose to Brock, who cares? The story was great. The payoff ends up getting there. Be patient. Not everything has to happen right away. All right, guys, I'm starving. I got to make dinner. I usually eat by 6:30. I'm going to start cooking at 6:30. Thank God it's only salmon, and I only got to throw it in the oven for 20 minutes. WG Phil, me and you both. You know, I'm 100% with you. Like, and I hate to be that guy that like I know, like, you know, like I know it kind of like pains you to say it in a way because you want fan interaction, but like you always they have to understand they can't always get everything that they want every single time, even if they're being really loud. You know, like a plan's a plan, and you know things are going to happen because they have a year's worth of stuff planned out. They're not going to throw it away on a whim because a certain person gets over. Now, look, if it's the right moment, like with Daniel Bryan, it turned out to be the right moment with the Yes Movement. It turned out to be the right moment with CM Punk. Nobody was in the middle of a historic 1,000-day run. I see, I don't believe that. I think that's just Bryan being Bryan, you know? But anyway, all right. This always happens. I say I'm going to go, and then like we get caught up. All right, I'm going to go. I'm starving. I will see you guys next time. Thank you guys for being here. And like I said early in the stream, I know you guys mostly missed it. I'm going like there's a lot going on. I'm going to try to do a little bit more here, but I have been I'm on the Wrestle Buddy staff now, so I'm writing for them. I'm also writing a play. I'm also assistant directing a new film, a feature film over the next couple of weeks. So it's going to be a little hard for me to keep up with this, but I'm going to try. But I said on Dave's stream a while back, unfortunately, it's not a fight about the S movement is validate and empower the most entitled fans. You're Ron Hawthorne. I couldn't agree with you more. Harry, the next time I'm on here, I'll try to come on before WrestleMania. We'll figure out something to bet on. All right, guys. I'll see you guys later. Take care.